Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's the Michael Myers back again with a brand new live stream. Uh, I know it's been a minute, it's been a while, it's been a few weeks. Uh, Actually, it got a little busy, man. It got a little busy, especially since, the holidays came about, or, you know, so as I mentioned before, towards the end of the year, man, towards, the this time of the holidays, it has been, a lot of stuff does get piled up. So that's one of the main reasons, man. I haven't made a video or I've went live. I actually have a few videos, man, that have been ready for the past few weeks. But like I said, man, I just been I've been quite busy. Like, time is really consuming. It's been quite consuming. I haven't even had time to even put some of the videos I have ready, put them to public. I believe I have like two already uploaded. I just need to put them public, man. But yeah, man. I mean, of course, I gotta start off. You know, happy holidays, man. It's pretty much 2026 now, and best believe, even though this month of December has been quite busy. Uh, I've definitely, especially on the 24th, which was Christmas Eve, right? And a little bit on the 25th, uh, I did watch a couple of Christmas horror movies, which is kind of like a, tradition. It's kind of like a routine for me. There's certain go-to movies for me that I always like to watch. I know, some people on Instagram were like asking me, uh, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What Christmas movies have you been watching or whatever, right? And I hit them with Black Christmas, the original. I hit them with the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, and they don't really expect that. They expect, I guess I don't know. I guess they were expecting for me to like, give them my favorite like just Christmas movies, but I really don't have. I really can't. I really can't name a lot, man. I could only, like I said, it's only even when it comes to the holiday, it's still, horror, Christmas horror. There's a lot of good ones, man. I also saw one that I actually have not seen before. I think it was called Christmas Evil. Uh, but there's a lot of good Christmas horror movies, man. But hey, like I said, hope you guys had a great, great Christmas, man. Great holidays. Like I said, I was trying to do a little more, trying to actually review some of these Christmas movies that I've been watching, especially the classic ones. But the one we're gonna be talking about today, man, is Silent Night, Deadly Night, the latest one. It's a remake. A lot of people have been, the hype was quite big. The hype was quite built up. Even weeks, months prior to, the release, people were asking me what I think about it, and I saw the trailer. Didn't really think much about it, man. To be honest, I wasn't even gonna go see this movie, but I happened to go see it, and I'm gonna give you guys a little review. I know not everyone has seen it yet, so I'm gonna try not to go too deep into spoilers. Uh, First of all, let me know what you guys think about. If you guys seen it, have you guys seen it? Have you guys not? Are you guys gonna wait for it? I totally get it. I know this was like an independent indie movie, so it didn't have like this wide ass release. I mean, and when the trailer came out, it made it seem like there's a nice budget behind it. We'll give it that. Especially since this remake was like branded off of from the people from Terrifier 3. Uh, that's how the movie was marketed, pretty much, and I honestly was expecting it to be this big ass thing, right? Don't get me wrong. Like I said, a lot of people really were hyped for it. But like I said, since I guess it's still a indie movie, it had like a limited release, so it didn't really last too long in theaters, you know. And it literally, you know, I usually go to Regal Cinema, Regal Theaters. That's like my go-to because it's like the closest theater, you know, near me. But even Regal didn't play it. There was literally only two movie theaters that played Silent Night, Deadly Night, which we'll get into. You know, there might be a few reasons because of that, which we'll get into. I'm just trying to. I forget this. I was trying to turn on the TV, man. I just got home not too long ago, man. So, he loves horror. What's up, yo? Hey, what's up, man? Salute, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Happy holidays, bro. Hope you're doing good, man. I know it's been a minute. Uh, you know, a lot of stuff. You know, I was trying to do because even though, of course, Christmas time, this time of the year might not be my favorite, but there was still a few things, man. I was trying to mostly movie reviews. I wanted to get back into the movie reviews. I wanted to review a few different Christmas horror movies, man, because it's definitely been a hot topic. You know what I mean? The whole month. You know. But like I said, man, I saw a nice handful of Christmas horror movies, and I did was able to watch this new remake, man, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too crazy on spoilers because I know a lot of people have not seen it, man. But yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, it does feel like, you know, quite some time. But hey, man, we're coming back into this better than ever. You know, better than before. Like I said, we're pretty much in 2026. So, I mean, definitely expect more, man. Definitely expect more. I'm just glad that January's here already. You know, a few more days, and we're pretty much resetting. We're restarting. You know, as far as, you know, me personally getting back into the swing of things. Uh, like I said, man, December's kind of like hectic for me a little bit, but I'm glad I'm able to. Like, I wanted to do this review on the 24th or the 25th because I did see the remake. I was gonna watch it opening night. You know, something had came up, so I ended up watching it a week later. Uh, and you know what? It's funny because this. I mean, I will say nowadays a lot of people don't really go to the movies a lot. You know, the past few times I've been to the movies, there's really not a lot of people, man. When I went to go see this Silent Night, Deadly Night, it was just me and, you know, two other people, which is crazy, you know. But like I said, dude, I feel like it's I think it's, you know, overall, I think it's in general, I feel like in general, people are not rushing to the theaters nowadays as much. You know what I mean? So what did I got? Two new posters. That's awesome, man. Hilo Sword, definitely let us know what soundtracks on vinyl did you get. That's dope, man. You know what? I really did not get nothing. I mean, I got a few. I got like earphones, little stuff like that. But as far as like, you know, horror stuff, I didn't get much, man. And you know, I haven't prior to, you know, the holidays, I really haven't been you know, on the hunt like that. You know what I mean? But that's dope. Definitely let us know uh, what you guys, you know, got for Christmas. Any horror stuff related. Uh, Midnight Terror shirts and also Cavity Colors. Cavity Colors is good, man. I don't know if it was Cavity Colors, but they had one of these companies, or it might have been one of these, you know, companies had came out not too long ago, man, with like some Halloween 6 shirts, uh, which have caught my interest. Definitely will try to, you know, snag some of those. But that's dope. That's dope. He loves horror. I know you had mentioned before that you were you know, trying to get some of the, you know, some cool stuff for the holidays, you know. But that's dope. You know, definitely anyone who's watching, let us know what you guys, you know, received as gifts or whatever. stream night of the comment, because to me it's a sci-fi comedy. You know what? I think that movie definitely rings bells, man. Throughout on Christmas Eve, especially. I was mostly like on the Roku. That's the TV channels I have. A nice handful of movies played, man. I literally watched. Other than the classics, I watched. Like the Black Christmas remake, not the last one, but the first one. Terrible, man. I really, can't believe I rewatched that. I'm not excited. I'll see when I see it. Yeah, you know what? That's one thing too. I know a lot of people might not care for spoilers because, like I said, dude, even like I said, prior to this, a lot of people were asking me about this new remake, man, and we've been knowing about this remake for like since earlier this year. Uh, and to me, uh, 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 I never really, like I said, since the first original one isn't like my favorite, this movie didn't really, excite me like that. You know what I mean? I would have understood, even though I'm against the whole remake idea, if Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984 was like a movie I, you know, praise a lot. I, hold on really dearly close to me, right? Even though the new one was a remake, I would have at least shown it more interest. But like I said, since the original, and I did see the original like a week before I went to go see the new one. And it's funny because as soon as this new one came out, and I get it, it's all about marketing, promotion, right? You got to get people in. You got to get people into the seats. You got to get people to buy a ticket to your movie. So, as soon as it came out, dude, it was branded as you know uh, 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 better than the original and stuff like that. That's like the very first few things I heard about it, man. As soon as it came out, you know, that comparison was, you know, right away it was there. Right away people were saying, this movie, is it better than the original? That was like the main headline, right? And I really didn't watch any reviews, man, prior to watching this new remake. Like I said, I saw it a week after it had came out, and like I said, dude, I will say this to start it off. Like I said, I might not go too deep into it, but to start it off, I don't think it's better than the original. Like I said, I saw the original like a week before this one came out, and it really, because it's been a while since I've seen it, the original. So, and like I said, during the week, 24th, 25th, a lot of low budget indie Christmas horror movies were playing, man. I even saw Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, uh, which was, terrible, man. One of the worst sequels, I will say. But this new remake, man, I think it was fresh out of the theater. I gave it a solid 7 out of 10. Uh, I will say this: it is a lot better than what I expected it to be. I will say, like the first, I went into this movie not thinking much. First, I will say, first 20 minutes of the movie, it was a bit slow. I wouldn't say slow, but the first 20 minutes was like it ended up being what I expected. You know what I mean? But I feel once the movie starts to roll on, it's a cool watch. Like I said, it is a remake. It's not a direct sequel, a legacy sequel, or anything like that. it's a completely remake. So you do have those elements from the original uh, in this movie played out. Of course, not as good as the original. And when I went into this movie, I had just watched the first one a week prior, so the first one was kind of still fresh in my head. So obviously, a lot of the stuff they try to redo in the remake, obviously, is to get the story going. But it really, like I said, I don't think it was as good as the original. Of course, it's not. And to be specific, it's not really as big of spoilers. But to be specific, of course, man, once Silent Night, Deadly Night starts, we get introduced to Billy. Uh, 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 you know, uh, 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 his parents get killed. He's a witness of that, and that's when he goes. That's when we get introduced to the Billy character, right? In the new remake, yes, it's pretty much the same thing. We go through that as well. We see him witnessing the killing of his parents. Uh, 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 you don't really see it like the full on thing in the beginning. Uh, of course, it's played out throughout the movie with flashbacks and stuff like that. But I feel like the whole the killing of his parents in this new one, I didn't really care for it, to be honest. I felt like the acting was kind of weak. It was that's one of the main issues I have with this new remake. The acting was quite a bit weak. We do have our main chick, our main our co-star, which is I don't even know her name, but of course the main chick, right, who falls in love with the main character Billy. She was all right. She was like this, you know badass chick who didn't really take shit from no one. uh she was all right, but the rest of the characters were whatever. Pretty much same ordinary, same thing as a lot of these modern movies. With characters that you don't really care for. The acting is shitty. But to me, the the main performances that were like the most shitty to me were the parents of Billy. To be honest, I don't know. I feel it was just too over the top. But of course, like I said, it's a remake, so we follow into Billy growing up, witnessing that, right? But of course it's modernized. In the original, uh you know he grows up, he gets adopted, by, I guess, the nun parents, right? He grows up, being taught right from wrong. So in the original it was more like trauma, and yeah, pretty much trauma, and all that has built up in him. Once we get introduced to Billy in this new remake, when he's grown, he's already like an established killer. And my bad if I'm going too far as far as spoilers, but once we get introduced to Billy, uh, 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 grown up, when he's grown up already, he's already an established killer. And it is explained later on in the movie, which was kind of threw me off guard in the beginning. uh and my bad if I'm spoiling it, but I have to. uh soon as we get into Billy, uh, uh as a grown up, we hear like this voice that we hear throughout the whole movie, this voice that is with him. uh the demon in his head, you know what I mean? That was like my first thought. Like I said, it threw me off guard at first. Like, what the heck, what is that voice? And it's pretty much that demon, or that that spirit that held on to Billy the night he witnessed his parents killed as a kid. So like I said, in the original, we saw him build up to this killer or whatever. The trauma and all the shit he went through, right? But in this new one, it's like as soon as kind of reminded me like of kind of like Halloween ends. He sees, later on in the film, he gets close to the killer of his parents, and it's like the curse goes into him just by touching him. I felt that was a little bit too you know too cliche. I don't know if that's the right word. Too cliche. We've seen that a lot, man. I thought that was silly. So that's like, I felt the weak points. And I know I started off right off the bat with the weak points from this movie. But I thought that was kind of off. It didn't really seem as believable, as real. Uh, like I said, compared to the original, where you know he's a grown up already. He's looking for the job, you know, or whatever, and it's like it builds up in him. But in this new one, he's already an established killer, or whatever the case may be. But other than that, dude, like I said, the acting was a bit, a bit off at some points. That whole aspect of, I guess this, the killer of his parents stayed with him, like that spirit, that demon, stayed with him, and like I said in the beginning, kind of does throw you off guard, but throughout the movie, you do start, you could say, getting the swing of things. Uh, but other than that, dude, I mean, I didn't really see as much. Like I said, it's a cool watch. It's a cool watch. Now when we get into what's his name? I forget his name, but of course Corey Cunningham. Uh, I call him Corey Cunningham. We all call him Corey Cunningham, right? Uh, which was one of the main reasons, you could say, a lot of people were excited for this, because a lot of people did dig him. I think he does. He's a good actor, dude. Like I said, we've talked about it before. He did cool in Halloween Ends, and him taking the lead once again as the killer in this one, he did pretty cool. Like I said, the first 20 minutes, I didn't really expect much. But as soon as the wheels start rolling, man, he did pretty cool. He carried on the movie pretty cool. I think, like I said, man, I think he does. He's a pretty good actor, the Corey guy. But I think, the screenplays he gets or whatever might be the issue. Uh, but like I said, dude, going into this, I didn't expect much from the dude, but I didn't really mind him. I didn't really mind him. Like I said, my main issues with this was like the acting, and the whole the whole demon, the whole curse getting into him and stuff like that. But other than that, dude, I mean, you have what you are going into this movie for. You got your killings, you got your gore. Pretty damn gory movie, I will say that. And I will say it wasn't really over the top. That's one thing too, man. I know, since Bloody Disgusting or whatever, the people behind Terrifier 3 gave us this new remake. I was expecting it to be a straight copy, man. And you know what? I still haven't seen Terrifier 3, so I can't really speak on that. I can't really compare them. But I think it was cool. It wasn't too over the top. Uh, the kills, the gores. It wasn't too over the top like I expected it to be. So it was cool. So if you if you're looking for slasher elements and kills and all that good stuff, this is a solid watch, man. Like I said, it's a cool little story, uh, simple and effective. Just like the first one was. Like I said, we follow the Billy character and stuff like that. Like I said, it's pretty much the same. Carrie as the original, same. We follow his character, whatever he goes through, right? But there is a few changes. I will say, you could say to make it more modernized. Like nowadays, you know, trouble kids don't really. That's not really a thing no more, like it was in the '80s. Kids getting adopted like by nuns and stuff like that. Like in the original, schools with kids being raised by these nuns. That's not really a thing no more. It is probably, but not as big. Uh, so of course they had to switch it up, modernize it. And like I said in this one, it's the demon that stuck with Billy, that made him turn out to be who he is, right? Rather than the trauma building up, like in the original. Uh, uh, uh. But like I said, dude, it's a fun movie. It's a solid movie. It's not the most perfect, right? But I had a solid time. I'm not gonna lie. Time went by quick, so I felt like it really was. Especially after the first 20-30 minutes, it's a good watch, in my opinion. I have seen some people say it's not really. It's more of recyclable stuff we've seen before. Yeah, of course. It has those modern horror elements for sure. That stuff we don't really care for. That we see in mostly every horror movie nowadays. But if you put that aside, it's a cool watch. It's a cool watch. You know what I mean? And like I said, I think it has to do a lot with the Corey guy, the Corey actor. Like I said, he carried it on pretty good, man. I know in the beginning, like I said, we were kind of hesitant, because it's a remake. I get it, but it's it's a lot better than what I thought it was gonna be. It still has those story elements. Don't get me wrong, especially towards the end. It's like their focus was like the blood and the gore. Yes, for sure. Like I said, it's bloody disgusting behind it. So that was their main goal, right? Get as much kills in there, as much gore. Uh, so you do have that. Like I said, at some points you could tell they kind of, you know, uh, 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 it's not like they have deep story in there because, like I said, it's a remake. They already have the template, so it's not like they had anything new in store for us. They just tweaked a few stuff, modernized a few stuff as far as the plot lines, storyline. Uh, but other than that, dude, yeah, I mean, it was a fun slasher. It was a fun slasher, in my opinion. Uh, but yeah, man, my bad if I'm spoiling it too much. I know some of you guys were also trying to check it out, but like I said, this movie only had like a limited release, man. It literally only played like in 2 theaters in my area. But like I said, man, I think it has to do with it being like an independent movie and stuff like that. Uh, oh yeah, for sure. He loves horror. Yeah, I know, man. For sure, I totally get it. I know like tops, their shirts probably like $40 or something like that. But they are good quality for sure, rather than some of the cheap stuff you could get online, you know, which is mostly stuff that's like printed on. Uh, but Cavity Colors has a lot of good quality pieces over there. I think I have one. I do own one shirt by Cavity Color. It comes in like in a green package, right? I think I remember that. Yeah. I had ordered like a shirt from their site, and it had came like in a green package. Uh, for sure, like I said, a lot of these brands, uh, Fright Rags, Cavity Colors, all that good stuff, man. Yeah, they are pricey, but I think it's good quality for sure. you know. And I think on the website when you order, they let you they give you options, like they let you choose like what kind of, you know, fabric you want and stuff like that, you know. So I thought, you know, that's pretty cool as well. But that's dope, man. Yeah, definitely. I know t-shirts. You know, I have quite a big not big, but I have a solid t-shirt collection as well, man. Uh, but that's dope for sure. 2005. Yeah, you know what? I know the last Black Christmas 2019 was like, it was terrible, dude. And you know the 2006 one, which is, I did rewatch it. You know, the 24th or the 25th. I thought because it's been a while since I've seen that one as well. So I kind of sat there and took my time to watch it because I kind of, you know, I had kind of had it confused. You know, I forgot what, you know, I had forgot if that this movie was bad, but it's bad, dude. You know, especially because I have the original Black Christmas is like so like memorized in my head. You know, the kills, a lot of those classic scenes, dude. Black Christmas, man. It's like it's always my go-to. You know, so watching the remake, it just it just felt watered down. You know what I mean? It felt watered down. So you best believe, no, I did not sit through the whole 2006 Black Christmas, but I did watch a little snippets, man, little bits and pieces. You know, while the food was ready on the 24th on Christmas Eve or whatever. Uh, 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 but yeah, but you know, like I said, speaking about remakes, uh, this was not a bad remake, and I know a lot of remakes, reboots, a lot of these direct sequels, man. And you know what? I'm gonna just say horror movies in general have been, you could say, pretty solid nowadays. They have definitely stepped up their game. There's been a lot more successful horror movies nowadays. Uh, so this remake was like, it wasn't that bad. Like I said, when we talk about like remakes like Black Christmas, uh, a lot more, man. You know, yeah, it really wasn't that bad. It was kind of refreshing, I will say. You know, because it's not like we get slasher Christmas movies all the time. So it felt refreshing. You know, like I said, even though I really wasn't expecting much from it, simply because, and it might be, I don't know. Like I said, I can't really tell you because I haven't seen Terrifier 3, but who knows? It could be like a straight copy from that, as far as gore, as far as, you know, the practical effects and all that stuff, which is the main, like I said, it's the main point of this new remake, man, was the whole gore, the whole slasher fun aspect, and it has all that for sure. Like I said, it did its job. Um, like I said, you still have that template behind it, that storyline behind it. Um, which you could say, like, if you did not, if this was in a remake, if you don't have that, if they're not, you know, following the same premise as the original, who knows what direction this film would have went, right? uh so you could say it's a good thing that it's like a reboot. It's a reimagining of the original, because they have something to follow. If it wasn't a remake, who knows what direction it would have went, because I know the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies are not that great. Uh, like I said, I saw like the second one the other day, man, and it's literally it's funny. The second one is literally like the first 30 minutes of that shit is like literally the first movie. You know, yeah, it literally is. Uh, I will say the only good thing about Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is the theme song, the end credit theme song. I thought that was pretty, it's kind of eerie. You know what I mean? Uh, I even had to, like look it up after the fact. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But like I said, man, this is not really an established franchise. It's not a popular franchise. So, like I said, I totally get it. It was only me and two others in the theater. But like I said, man, overall, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It was solid. I was gonna give it a 6 out of 10, but like I said, dude, it does its job. It does its thing. I know a lot of people were looking forward to it. I know some people didn't really get a chance to see it because, like I said, man, it was just like a limited release or something like that. And I believe, I guess there was also like some controversy because I guess in the movie, and this came out like like a day before the movie had came out. I guess people were complaining about like there was like a scene in there where Billy like kills I guess like this Nazi party, right? Uh, he goes to like this Nazi event in the movie, and which it was a pretty cool scene. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, it has that action. It has that slasher aspect to it, and it's pretty cool. If you love to see people get killed, back to back, uh, 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 hey, this movie might do it for you. Like I said, it does have some good scenes like that. Uh, like I said, and with the story, uh, supporting it. Uh, 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 but I guess people, you guys know how it goes down nowadays, man. People get offended quick. They like to bring politics into movies and all this shit. Unnecessary crap. But that really wasn't. I mean, I get it. Some people have different views. But when you're dealing with movies, man, when you're dealing with cinema, hey, I think you just gotta let it be, not bring all that extra stuff into it. Uh, but I thought that was a cool sequence. The whole Nazi party. Billy goes in there and has like a like how do you call it? Has he just goes on a rampage right there, man, and so like I said, it does have that. Does have those slasher aspects. So it was cool. It was cool to me. It wasn't that bad. Um, and like I said, I think however long it was, the time went on quick. So it's definitely one I will be looking out forward to when it comes out on Blu-ray. I know also another one I wanted to get on Blu-ray, man, was Black Phone 2. It had just came out. But yeah, man, I mean, I think this one's worth at least to get on Blu-ray. This new remake. Uh, Actually, I still need to get the original on Blu-ray. I don't have that. Uh, I've been trying to come across it, man, for a while. Um, it is quite, I think it goes for like over like $20 on eBay. The original one on Blu-ray. I know Scream Factory did release also the first one, all of them actually. Uh, but for sure, man, I think this new remake was solid. So I might end up getting it on Blu-ray, dude. But hey, man, definitely let me know what you guys think. Like I said, some of you guys might not watch the whole review or whatever after the fact. But to me, it was a solid 7 out of 10. just for those who were asking what I thought about it, but I mean, hey, whenever you guys watch it, whenever you guys get the chance to check it out, definitely let me know what you guys thought about it. I totally get I get it if it's just like another like I said, copy paste kind of remake. For sure, like I said, there is some weak points to it. Uh, like I said, but I think it was all due to the cause. All for it to you know, fit right into, you could say, today's modern audience. So, but other than that, it was a 7 out of 10 for me. Uh, and yeah, so definitely let me know what you guys think if you guys saw it. Um, like I said, I probably will be getting it on a physical media, Blu-ray, when it comes out. Uh, but it was a fun time, so I definitely recommend it. At least for just for a fun time, I guess. Like I said, it's not like we get a Christmas horror, quite oftenly. So it felt refreshing, dude. It felt refreshing. Uh, and it's funny because who knows? We might get this thing might, sprung into a whole series. Uh, because this it has that dumb element of you touch the killer and like the whole curse goes possesses you. Kind of like Halloween Ends. When Corey, I guess the evil of Myers, went to Corey. It's kind of the same stuff, same shit in this one, So it kind of does end off with not a cliffhanger, but it does end with a potential sequel. Uh, which, like I said, I don't think it's necessary, even though they did leave room for that in the end. But I don't think it's necessary, dude, because if 5 sequels prior to this did not work, I don't think it would work now. But because, like I said, dude, yeah, it's not like it's a major franchise. Uh, I just think it's that one movie. Like a lot of these movies, Black Christmas, only that one first original movie, and there you have it. So yeah, I hope we don't get more. Like I said, people really dig it. It's really highly rated on the what's it called, on the Rotten Tomatoes. Like I said, people. I've seen some people, actually like it more than the original, which I get it, dude. Like I said, it's a fun ride. So and the original you could say was a bit slow paced. Like I said, once we in this new one, once we get introduced to Billy as a adult, he's already an established killer. So we already get that firsthand. And in the original we get to see him develop into this the madness that took over him. But I think the original still stands where it stands, man. And like I said, this new remake, it could have been worse, dude. It could have been a lot worse. Like I said, I was expecting it to just be this gore fest, this blood fest, dude. Which, like I said, with the plot line supporting it, that plot line from the original supporting it, uh, it kind of saved it, because, like I said, without the premise of the original movie, what do you really have, But hey, it was solid. If you're into fun slasher stuff, especially Christmas themed, Definitely check it out, dude. Definitely check it out. Like I said, I know it's kind of limited. It didn't really hit a lot of theaters, but uh, hey, I can see it coming to streaming anytime soon now. Uh, Blu-ray, DVD, all that good stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, that's gonna be pretty much it. That was my little remake review on Silent Night, Deadly Night. Uh, like I said, let me know what you guys think. Uh, in the comments down below after the fact. Like I said, to a lot of people, it's not really. I really wouldn't have gone seen it, to be honest. But I guess the curiosity was there or something. So I went to go check it out. But I really wasn't. It was like a last minute thing. It's not like I was waiting months and months to for this movie to come out. I just seen. That it had came out already. I'm like, hey, let's go watch it. And we did, man. So 7 out of 10 for me. So that's gonna be pretty much it, man. Stay tuned for more videos, man. Who knows? This might be my last one for 2025. Like I said, 2026, man. I have a lot more good stuff. You know what? I actually might even upload one of these videos, man. I've been sitting on before the year's over, because like I said, dude, I have like 3 videos uh that have been ready, were supposed to be out a few weeks back. But you guys know, man, this month, this time of the year gets kind of busy. So like I said, I wanted to do this review on the 24th. On 25th, I even wanted to review the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, Black Christmas, the original, and a lot of these Christmas movies, man. I wanted to dedicate the month to that, but like I said, dude, time was quite consuming, but it's all good. I'd figure before the year's over, uh, let me do a live dedicated to the to this new remake. But it was a 7 out of 10, But original JR, yo, what's up, man? Pornstar JR, my comments not showing up. Original JR, hey man, did you change like your YouTube handle? Or I'm pretty sure it's the same channel, but I get you, dude. I know YouTube be censoring and all this crap. Yeah, uh, it might be that, man. But hey, Pornstar, glad to see you on here, man. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Hope you're having a good end of the year, man. Good holidays. Like I said, I've been quite busy, but it's still definitely gonna still keep it going. Like I said, I'm gonna upload at least one video before the year's over. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna publicize it. It's actually a costume test, once again. But likewise, Pornstar, yeah, man. Merry Christmas, man. Hope you had a good one, man. Like I said, even though time was quite consuming, I still made it. I still made the holidays count. You could say I still chilled, spent time. Like I said, on the 24th, on Christmas Eve, and on Christmas Day. I spent some of the free time I had on just watching older horror Christmas movies, the original Black Christmas, the original Silent Night, Deadly Night. You know, helping with the cooking back and forth. That's how my holidays went, man. Nothing major, but I definitely, like I said, man, definitely hope you guys had a good one. Gotta press all messages. I mean, I'm not sure if I don't know if it's a new update or whatever. Hold on. I commented. Oh, okay, porn star. Yeah, I don't know. Cause right now it just says like top fans on the chat. Okay. I see. I think I see you now. I see porn star Jr. Chucky, and I see original Jr. Okay, yeah, but I did not catch the original message though. But yeah, you know what? It could be the like I said, dude. I don't know if it's like the censoring of the name and stuff like that that always kinds of hides it. Uh, but I got it. Yeah, I got it. I get this is your backup, and porn stars the original channel for sure. Yeah, it always happens, dude. It always happens. Yeah, too offensive. Yeah, I guess because of the handle or whatever. It kind of like tries to block it. I think even like when you try to like, I know I've seen some of your comments, man, on some of the videos, regular uploads. Uh, it you have to press like I guess the all comments. It doesn't really show up on like the top ones. I think for that same reason though. I guess the too offensive crap. Like I said, dude, this whole censoring shit is like why even why would YouTube even bother? It's literally just it's not like you're uploading like explicit content or anything like that. Just to handle, but for sure, I got you though, bro. I got you. Yeah. Yeah, man. Same here. Yeah, just chilling, man. You know what? I just got home not too long ago. Past few days, man. Been chilling, man. Was watching like I said, some of the classic horror movies, and this new remake I went to go see like a week after it had came out. And like I said, I didn't think too much of it. Uh, it was just like another, modern horror movie. But I went to go check it out, dude, and it wasn't. It was okay, Like I said, there is some weak points in there. Uh, some people like it more than the original, which is cool. If you guys like it more than the original, because the original, like I said, it's a classic for sure, but it's not like a memorable ass movie that you know ho- sticks onto people. You know, soon as the years go on, it might, to some people it might. To some people, the original Silent Night, Deadly Night might be like their first movie they might have seen. So I'm pretty sure there's a nice handful of people that original movie is like really special to them. Uh, but like I said, I don't think it held enough weight to you know how do you call it to really you could say look forward to the remake. So like I mentioned before, if I was like a huge fan of the original, I would have gone into this movie, you could say, a lot more passionate, a lot more, even though I've always been against the remake idea, I still would have at least made more, uh, 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 would have made more in touch with it. But like I said, since it was just another like remake to me, it was okay. It was okay. 7 out of 10. I think, like I said, since it was a limited release, it might have been pulled off by theaters by now. I'm not really sure. Uh, like I said, near me there was only two theaters playing it, and yeah, I mean they snagged it off real quick, because I know a lot of movies also had came out. Like I knew Avatar movie, a lot of more movies had came out these last few weeks. So, and then this one was like an indie movie. So I get it, but it's still I mean, like I said, I could see it coming to streaming anytime soon now. So I could see it hitting streaming. Like I said, I could see myself getting it on Blu-ray because it's a nice, fun watch, man. Like I said, it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, I think if it was, like I said before earlier, if it wasn't a remake, who knows what direction they would have went. But I think by them having that template, man, that plot line of the original supporting it helped it a lot, you know. But it was cool. I mean, like I said, it's not like I kind of went into this movie, you know, then I thought they were just gonna focus on gore and kills, and they do, for sure, they do. You do have that, but like I said, it still has that storyline behind it, supporting it. So that kind of saved it, you know. But yeah, like I said, I was expecting it to be like another Terrifier 3, but I can't really, you know, that's not like a statement I could with confidence say because I haven't seen Terrifier 3 yet. So, uh, I mean, Terrifier 3, I know from the outside looking in, I think it still follows a story. Um, but I think their main focus was like I said, the gore and stuff like that. And this being a remake, they had a template to follow. So who knows? If you guys seen both, let me know what you guys thought about Terrifier 3, this new remake, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Are they similar? Uh, who knows? I gotta rewatch Terrifier 3, man, for sure. Yeah, because I guess that was like the more like uh, 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 successful. I wouldn't say successful, or maybe yeah. You know what? I think it might be. You know, Terrifier 3 might be the most successful one from the whole franchise. Uh, but I mean, you know what? I'm gonna wrap it up here, you guys. Gotta make a call back. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. This was my little review. Hope you guys have a great rest of the holidays, man. Great rest of your new year. Uh, like I said, I might upload one of the videos I had ready, man, either tomorrow or before the year's over. And hey, if I have time, man, if I have really if I'm up to part with everything, I'm at least try to go live on New Year's, at least one live stream before the year's over. But I just wanted to hop on here quick, man, talk about this new remake. Um, so that's gonna be pretty much it. Shout out to all of you guys, man. Shout out to you, Pornstar JR. He loves horror. Appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night. I know it's Sunday, man. You know, and I know a lot of us still, you know, gotta go back to work, even though, you know, New Year's right around the corner, man. But I just can't wait. I can't wait to get the new year started, man, and get this damn month over with. But definitely stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna be uploading a new costume test. Stay tuned for a new live stream on New Year's if I do end up going live. But that's gonna be pretty much it, man. Salute to you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your night. You guys take it easy. It's the Michael Myers signing out.